Ladies and gentlemen, very, very special treat for you today. Founder of Recomp, Damon Hayhow, we're at his beautiful facility. Damon's in the house, he's going to do a chest workout. Damon is really one of Nathan Wallace's mentors. You all know Nathan Wallace, he's one of the true champions these days on the world natural bodybuilding circuit. So Nate is in the house, he's going to do a chest workout with his mentor, Damon. It's great to have you here, mate. Thanks for using the facility. Your facility here is absolutely outstanding.
Thank you.
Folks, you know, I say it's a contradiction many times over because it's such a beautiful, classy facility, this one, Recomp. 51 Queen Street, Melbourne. 51. It's a cheesy plug, guys, but if you want to change your body composition in a positive way, if you want to build muscle, folks, you want to lose fat, contact these guys at Recomp. They're the best in the country at what they do. But sit back and relax and watch these two guys go at it. The mentor, the master, has possibly been surpassed by the student, but let's see. Let's see, let's do it, guys.
That'd be great. Thanks, Nick.
Let's do it.
Nice and tight, just stop.
I need to do a few more because I'm old.
Oh, really? Yeah, let's say, so the goal of today is actually what we're going to do is hit tops of 5s, so maxes of 5s. While we're warming up, we're probably going to try and get a bit of blood going, get a bit of a stretch and everything happening, so we'll do a few more reps. But then once we start sort of getting a little bit heavier and we don't want to wear ourselves out, so we'll start hitting 5s and we'll just go up from there. Today's program, we're probably going to go up to try and maxes of 5s, and we'll probably do a few sets of that before we move on. So just when you're picking the dumbbells up, do make sure that you are getting into a safe position. A lot of guys pick them up, and a lot of times injuries happen when you're not thinking about it, not doing it, actually picking up a dumbbell properly or anything like that. So sort of pick it up like you are properly going into a deadlift.
Let's go, Damon. Come on, squeeze.
One of the things that you'll notice here is the technique isn't textbook perfect. What I've always focused on with lifting weights is always to do them in a way where I can make the most rapid progress. I push the weights through the most difficult part of the rep, where I need to do the work, and the rest of the rep I can already do anyway. So if at any point I need to clean up the reps and do strict beautiful ones, not a problem. Right now we're trying to handle weight where I'm not very good at it.
So you'll notice with me I do a little bit more full rep. My weakest area is actually my lockout, so I do try and concentrate on getting a little bit closer to the top of the rep. Plus, for my powerlifting, which is what I'm doing at the moment, what I'm concentrating on, I do try and do a lot more full reps just because that's how in meets you have to lock everything out. Yeah, mine aren't going to look like that. I'm going to be happy with one.
Show us how it's done, Grasshopper.
It must be said, I haven't actually dumbbell benched for probably be close to 4 months or something since I've bodybuilded. At the moment, I'm currently...
It sounds like an excuse, mate.
Doing a lot more powerlifting training, so I've actually got a powerlifting comp in 2 days now. It's 2-3 days now, so
what you're saying is that you should be at your strongest right now.
Well, I should be if I wasn't cutting weight, so
Yeah, you're looking small.
I feel small.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on. Yeah, here we go. Come on.
All right. You're right.
Yeah, come on. Up. Yep.
Yours is the first?
Yeah. Squeeze.
I'm trying to get one out.
Yep.
Good. Nice.
Hup. Come on. Beautiful. There's heaps more. Come on. Come on. Punch. 2. Yep. Come on, man. Come on. Up. Push through. 3. Strong. Spot. Come on. Up. There you go. Oh, nice. Appreciate the respect.
Try and dumbbell curl them down.
Another one of those. We go heavier.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
I'll probably go back to 65.
Alright.
Go on, Damon. Here we go. Nice and strong. This is light for you. Come on.
It was late for me.
Still is. Come on. Nice and strong. Keep tight. Up. Good. Lock. That's you. Come on. Up. Press. Lock it now. Lock it. Come on. Work it. Work. Work this. Come on.
Oh, that's weak as ever. That was pathetic. Ankle forever.
Oh yeah, 80 is pathetic. I wouldn't put that on the field.
Yep, good. Power. Yep, come on, here we go. Power. Hey, come on.
I'm going to jump
So
back.
Nathan, if you remember when I used to do 12 reps with him,
Power.
this is what happens in old age. That's what I'm blaming anyway.
Yeah, I'm feeling those effects now.
It's not happening now. I think the dumbbells are broken.
Yeah.
Come on. Pull.
Let's crank some out.
Yeah, nice.
Let's go.
That's it, big and strong. Come on, pull, power.
2.
Yep.
3. 4.
Yep.
5.
Pull. 8. Good.
6.
Good. Pull, power. Squeeze. Come on.
8. Come on. There's a couple more. Come on.
8. Come on. Yep.
Let's go. Big drive. Nice. Sweet. Come on. There's one more. Come on. Big bounce off the chest. Come on. Get that punch. Come on. Drive. Up.
Hey.
Yours.
Okay, so we're going to be going on to our second exercise now. So we just finished off the dumbbell flat bench press, which was our main sort of chest exercise. We're now going to move into a bit of an accessory work and do some dip work. We'll probably be able to handle a little bit of poundages with this. We'll see how we go. We'll try and get up close to 60 plus kilos hanging off us and get a couple of reps out here and there. So we'll go quite heavy with these and see how much weight we can move.
Sounds good, lady.
So you'll notice with the technique that we're using, because we're trying to bring in a lot more of the chest work, we are getting ourselves over a bit. So to get ourselves over into that sort of position, what we tend to like to do is bring our knees up. That will shift the center of weight. So we're now leaning forward, which will bring in a lot more of the chest, a little less of the tricep and shoulders. So
It really removes the strain off the shoulder joint.
Yep.
Where other people try to sort of rip their arm off backwards.
Okay, so with this set, we're going to try and max out, just see how many reps I can get out. See how we go. Seems I'm a bit fatigued from the bench before. Hopefully I can get a few reps out.
It's only nearly midnight.
Come on, mate.
Come on. Big punch. 2. Punch 3. Punch 4. Come on. 5. Push 6. Push 7. Come on, mate. Come on. Tight. Punch out. Punch. Come on. Damn. So, Grasshopper, did you set the pace there for me, or am I going to go for weight?
I'll set the pace.
Alright, so I'm going to rep this?
Yeah.
How many did you do?
7.
7. Alright.
It looked like it was going to be more.
Do you want to count that as 10 then?
I visualised 10.
You visualise 10, so basically it's the same thing. All right, grasshopper did 7.
Yeah, come on.
The so-called mentor do then. Beat it.
Come on, up.
Yeah, I'm
Wallace. Come on. Get over, that's it. See, I told you, I'm working in power ranges. I didn't want to go to that 8 rep mark because that's hypertrophy. I didn't want to do that.
I did want to finish the 13th because that would be out of the hypertrophy range too. It would be into marathon runner range. I'd get skinny. The training that Nathan and I have both done kind of offends both powerlifters and the bodybuilders because we'll do reps from 1 to 50 usually.
On any given exercise.
On any given exercise. The idea is you put that weight on you and decide that's the weight, then sky's the limit for reps.
So that's the set and that's
the set. We actually, on all of our workouts, use a 1 rep max calculator to calculate every performance and compare it to dissimilar weights on the same exercise so that we're always trying to make progress on our maximum strength level regardless of what weight we're training with at the time. So, doesn't really apply tonight so well, but
no. So this is our last chest exercise and last set before we move on to some shoulder work. I'm just gonna see how many reps I can get out with this, and then I'm just gonna take the weight off and punch out a few body weight stuff. So just to get some more blood volume in, seeing as though our chest work hasn't been really too much volume work today. So, not for me anyway.
Come on. Pull. Come on. Come on, forward. Now. Come on. Yep. Yep. Look down. And squeeze. Nice. Woo. Nice. You got 60. Got it? Yes, we did, yes. A little tired now. Long day.
it's on wide grip now.
We've been sitting on the computer the whole way through, so that probably fueled our workout better than anything. And it's delivered nutrients to our muscles, and after a long day, it's nice to move, get some bloody air. And in the bed, knowing that we've had a productive day and all that is. Mentally, especially today, we've had some stimulus and over, physically in the gym.
You all done?
Let's go.
That's enough chest.
Finish strong.
So the third exercise that we're going into is a seated military press. So we've done some chest work, so we've done some dumbbell flat bench press, went on to some dips, and now we've moved on to some seated military press. We're probably going to go, with this I might try and get a bit more volume into it. I think we'll do today. So
Shoulders aren't going to be doing poundage now.
yeah, so we're a bit tired from doing the heavy dumbbell presses and dips beforehand, so now we'll move on to some bit more volume and we'll see how we go. You'll notice that when we both do some military press, we set it up exactly like we've almost set up our bench press. So you want to try and have a big arch in your back, track your scapula right back in and your shoulder blades down. Elbows track forward to keep them underneath the bar. If you let your elbows track backwards, it's just going to put tension on the shoulders. And then like the line of your forearm isn't actually underneath the weight, which is what you're pressing. So that's why you'll see our technique like that. Both of us. Damon gets a little bit of a wider grip, whereas I go a little bit more narrow. It's a personal preference thing.
And a broken shoulder thing.
Yeah, and a broken shoulder thing. So I like to bring my grip in a little bit more. Plus it uses my triceps a bit, which
I don't have triceps or shoulders.
they don't work much. So I need to get them to work. So like Damon said before, his weakest area and the hardest point for him is the bottom spot. He can lock out anything. So, whereas mine's a lot more of the top end, which is my weakest point. I can move the weight really easy off my shoulder, but locking out point is a lot harder. So my range is a little bit longer, just so I can sort of bring in the triceps more and work on that.
Let's go, come on.
Come on, man, another one, man, come on. Up. Oh, strong, good. Another one, yeah. Up. Lock, lock, lock. You. 200.
As I was saying before, our focus when we're training is on using the technique that allows for the most rapid progress. The philosophy being, it doesn't matter what you do if after a year of training we've stuck 40, 60 kilos on our military press, our shoulders will reflect that, or more the other way. If our shoulders develop dramatically, they're going to be capable of lifting massively more weight. Therefore, if we can't lift massively more weight, we know we haven't developed more muscle mass. So, it's always training, worried about the poundage. For as many reps as you can. 8, come on, and again, drive. 9, come on, one more rep. Come on, number 10, kick. Up, back, come on, that's you, man, that's you. All the way. There you go. Oh, that was the best spot he's ever had in his life. Because it didn't. I say to all those people in the gym, see somebody training hard and decide that you need to go in and do curls with their weight, go away. We don't want your help.
It's going to stuff me for like 10 minutes.
This is obviously a classic isolation exercise where you'll see on the power exercises, we're going for power, we're trying to move the weight. The weight is the variable that matters most. On this, you can't lift weight if you want to, so slows down, focus on the peak contraction, something that people who know me will probably laugh a little bit about, but
Sometimes that's to be done.
sometimes that's all you got left.
Rest, lock. Come on, lock it down. So you'll notice with the triceps, they tend to look strong, and then all of a sudden they'll just die on you. That's just...
Except mine don't look strong.
Usually happens with isolation exercises because they're usually the only the only muscle group getting used. They can tend to fatigue really quickly on you and will just go. Whereas with compound exercises, you've got different muscle groups that can sort of kick in and help you out finish a set and a rep.
The way I describe this exercise, the unique attribute is the loading of the triceps in the fully contracted position. On the presses, you tend to just be resting the weight on the skeleton, so the muscle's in a peak contracted position, but it's not actually at maximum load. On this, we hold the lock simply because that's the unique attribute of this exercise, is that we're actually doing maximum work at the peak contraction point.
Yeah, that's it. Contract fully right now. That's it. So at the moment, because we're at the end of the workout, fatigue levels are quite high. So you notice our backup sets probably aren't going to match our first set. So
You can see it, triceps failing on the dips already, so
yeah.
Wasn't much left here. Come on. Come on. That's it.
No, come on. Come on, keep going. Good, squeeze. That's it. Lock them out. Finish it off. Come on. Down, down, down. Make it you, make it you.
It's all that powerlifting training, and I can't do more than 5.
Exactly, that's where I'm stuck. That's my excuse
5
anyway.
failure, yeah.
That's what happened with the dumbbell. I went over
That's what
one.
it was, yeah,
I probably
I saw
could have pressed those heavy as well.
It was just training
just-
to maximum.
I'm mentally focused to just come in here and do singles. Like high grade.
That's right. Come on.
Oh, that lock out.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oh.
There's a wrist curve.
Okay. So that's a wrap for tonight's session. It's coming up to 11:15, so we've been here. It's quite getting late. We all flew in this morning, so like I said before, you'll notice that today was more of a chest, shoulder, and tricep workout. Again, my ideas is you work off the three big movements of squat, bench, and dead. Those exercises are going to build the most mass. The more weight you can move on those exercises, in general, you're going to have more muscle mass. So, and the other exercises around it just complement it really well. So that's a wrap. That's it for tonight.
Nice work, buddy. Pleasure training as always.
So you'll notice that Damon Hayhow, founder of Recom, he is my mentor, so he's the man that sort of got me to where I am today. I pretty much think most of my credit goes to him and my father. So my dad got me into it, and everyone knows the story there. So, and then Damon Hayhow was the guy that sort of took me to the next step and pretty much taught me everything I know. And then I've gone on and tried teaching that to other people out there with my strength coaching and taking it all on board. And like I said, pretty much everything I know and where I am today is all accredited to this man. So that's all
I appreciate the sentiment. I would never take a bit of it off of Nathan. Nathan, from when we first met, was the most disciplined, diligent trainer I've ever worked with. He, until recently, but he, like myself, we were 365 days a year, taking our trough of food everywhere we went. When you put a weight on Nathan's back or in Nathan's hands, he pushes that thing until it falls out of his hands. You tell him one more rep, he goes for one more rep. This man did everything that he did all for himself. I'm proud to have been a part of the journey and to put a few numbers on a piece of paper and said, hey, try and do that. And then have this guy make me look very good by actually doing it. It's crazy, I never would have done that. So,
Thank you.
awesome work, man. It's a wrap.